I'm a guy that's 24. Each day I build some more. I like episode 7 and episode 8. I'm Rich Boy J.
Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back with another video, and we have yet another episode of collecting every LEGO Star Wars minifigure ever made. This series is basically what the title says. I'm trying to collect every LEGO Star Wars figure made. This does include rare figures like the Cloud City Boba Fett and even the Chrome Gold C-3PO. This does not include the uber rare one-off type figures made of rare earth minerals. I'm just obviously not gonna worry about those. I have a pretty good haul this week, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. To get things started, we have some original trilogy boyo. So over to the far left, we have a Desert Skiff Han Solo from the 2001 Desert Skiff set, and it's a pretty simple figure, no leg printing, which was, you know, pretty standard for the time. The torso printing is quite simple, and the face printing is just that old school Han Solo smirk, which I don't know how people feel about that, but he was also sporting the classic Lego hair. It's honestly pretty incredible how much better the newer figure looks, but this was a fine figure for the time. The next one is, I think, an even more interesting one, because this is actually like not a cheap figure. I think this runs like 15 to 20 bucks. This is from the 03 Cloud City set, as well as a, I think, 2000 like minifig pack, which had a limited release, Brickset tells me, which kind of explains why this is actually kind of an expensive figure to get. The one funny thing about this one is this, like I said, is the figure from the Cloud City set, but this is definitely not Cloud City Han Solo. Like the pants are correct, I guess, for the time, but Han's sporting a blue jacket on Cloud City. This is clearly not it. In fact, this is basically his episode 4 clothing. So this is just a weird amalgamation of Han Solo clothing. I mean, technically, I guess you can say it's more in line with his Return of the Jedi look. But even in Return of the Jedi, he wasn't sporting this shirt. It wasn't this like low-cut shirt from A New Hope. It was actually this shirt right here. So it is kind of funny that in the Cloud City set, we got a weird amalgamation of like A New Hope and Return of the Jedi Han. So it was kind of annoying spending that much money on a figure that's just not accurate at all, but it's nice to, I guess, officially have all the figures from that Cloud City set. I spent so much time trying to get all the expensive ones that this one kind of flew under the radar, and this one is still kind of an expensive one, but you know, it's not $50 or $60 plus like those other ones. So happy to add this to the collection nonetheless. Next up is the old Obi-Wan Kenobi set. This one actually came in the 2003 Mos Eisley Cantina set, and this is not really a unique figure because I believe the same one came in the original Landspeeder, except this one's sporting light bluish gray hair and light bluish gray face print. That original one from the Landspeeder had old gray hair and an old gray beard. So I had that figure, didn't have this one, and I finally have it. So it's cool to have these weird kind of variation figures now in my collection. Next up, we have a bunch of droids. Let's go ahead and try to get through this, and hopefully you can get these guys standing upright for the most part. First one is a battle droid pilot from the 01 droid carrier set. Not really too much to say here. I mean, it's a battle droid, but it has this blueprinting on the chest, which I guess was kind of nice for the time. Like, LEGO's gone through a few iterations of these battle droids, while like starting here, then they eventually just gave them just a blue piece for the chest, and I think now they print it, I think it's like a blue piece, but they print tan on it, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess it's interesting to see how that has evolved over time. Next up, we have Evie 99, another expensive figure. This was from the original Jabba's Palace set in 03, and this is a figure that I actually have wanted for quite some time. I just never got around to getting it. This one is from a pretty funny scene, I think, in Return of the Jedi, where they're like in the dungeon, and you like, you know, you're a feisty little droid, but you'll soon learn some respect. I can always appreciate any droid that has an appreciation for respect, because everything is about respect. But I do like this figure a lot. I love the dark red colors in it. It's just a very interesting looking droid. Like, if you compare it to what it looks like on screen, it's totally inaccurate, and I would love for LEGO to redo this at some point. But till then, I'm happy to have Evie 99 in my collection. Next up is an ASP droid. This is just one of the random droids that were in that Sandcrawler set. Not really too much to say about it. It's a battle droid torso, battle droid arms and legs in dark gray, with a 1x1 piece with a clip on it and a clear stud for the face. So pretty basic looking droid, if I might say so. Next up, we have an all black assassin droid. Oh wait, hold up, this needs to be corrected. Let's go ahead and flip this torso around. I basically just got these figures out the package and threw them on this base plate, not realizing this dude's torso is wrong. All right, now he's good to go. But yeah, this is an all black assassin droid. This was in that original assassin droid battle pack. One thing I was this is the thing with droids, these things fall over so easily because of these loose hinges. But one thing I was surprised was that this actually came in a few sets. It came in that assassin droid battle pack. It also came in the Bounty Hunter gunship set, the green one, as well as Cad Bane Speeder from Coruscant. So pretty interesting array of sets this thing came in. I mean, what can I say about it? It's a typical old school Lego assassin droid. I do appreciate that they eventually just started giving them like a 1x1 piece here with print on it. I think it looks much better. But yeah, standard Lego assassin droid. This one has to be the most comical droid out of the bunch. It's either this one or this one with the clip. Although I think I probably have a little bit more of an appreciation for the 1x1 clip piece as the head rather than the skeleton head as a leg. This is the pilot droid from the 2009 Solar Sailor set, and it just looks so goofy. Like the skeleton leg as the head was just such a silly decision for them to make. I think the newer one that comes in that Dooku and Yoda duel set from like 03 is a much better solution to this droid, but this just looks downright silly. In our next group, we have some more original trilogy dudes. We have Crix Maydeen over to the left. He came in the 09 Home 1 set. There's actually technically two variations of him. There's this one with the dark tan pants, and then one with like standard tan pants came in some like Comic-Con exclusive thing that they did, but it's the same torso and head print, so I just needed this specific version for my collection. But I actually do like this figure quite a bit. No back printing, but I think it's nice to get like Rebel officer torsos because they become kind of few and far between, honestly. So it's just like if you're making like a mock with Rebels in it, you just want it to have another officer looking torso print, this could certainly work. One thing that's kind of funny about this character is he might be the only person where like the classic Lego hair is actually a better haircut than he actually has in real life. Next up is, of course, the Celebration Vader. This actually came out in 2013 as part of the Empire Strikes Out DVD set. It's the standard old school Lego Vader. Actually, no leg printing, but he is wearing a medal around his neck, and that's kind of cool. It's like the Imperial logo, so nice little quote-unquote specialty figure to have in your collection. Not that I'd ever really need to use this for any mock or anything, but this is kind of a cool, cute little figure. There's been quite a few like specialty Vaders that have been released, so happy to have this figure. I think he still has just the standard light gray head under there, nothing really special. And then our final figure today is quite a doozy. This is an expensive figure. This was a $55 figure. Oh my god. But it is the original Watteau from the Watteau's Junkyard set in 01. And I honestly can't believe I spent that much on this figure, because like comparing this one to the new one is significantly under detailed, but I guess it does have a little like nostalgia value considering that this dude was in the Lego Star Wars game, so I can kind of appreciate that. One thing that kind of took me by surprise was, you know, just messing around with this mold. These wings are like static, they're not rubbery, kind of like Lego would do them now. So I don't know, if I was a kid, I'm almost sure I would have broken these things by some point. So in that case, I'll be extra cautious. But what can I say about this figure? Like, it's the same tale of these old figures. Like, the mold actually looks really good, but the lack of printing on it, the fact that it's just this monochrome, I think it's medium blue color, is just, I don't know, it makes it look kind of silly. It looks like a statue of Watteau, which I guess if you were building some sort of mock, maybe if you wanted to do like a Watteau's mansion mock, you just have a statue like of him standing outside and use this figure, just replace the torso. I don't know if it was the case that they just didn't produce many of them, because it's not a set you see really often at all in the wild. And I mean, this figure is super expensive. It wasn't a very expensive set, but this figure is kind of a rare one. It's not one you see too often. So I was glad to add this one to the collection. It's just one of those more expensive figures that, I I mean, it wasn't, you know, it's not worth going out of your way to get it, because it's not like this fills a hole in your collection in terms of usefulness, because they've since updated this figure. It looks much better, but this was just one of those ones I had to go back to, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and get it. Like, I need this figure in my collection. So it's kind of a cool, old, unique thing to look at, and I guess I have somewhat of an appreciation for that. So let's go ahead and throw these figures on that minifig wall. Remember when I was mentioning how that Han Solo figure with the brown pants and the wrong shirt was an expensive figure to buy? Well, turns out I actually already had one. So now I have two of them, literally for no reason. I don't know how that happened. I'm guessing I just forgot to update my brick set, and I ended up with two of these, and I definitely don't need two. I'm not really sure what to do about it. I mean, I'll just keep them both right there for now. But that's kind of annoying. I did not want to do that. I'm just going to have to be a lot better about keeping my brick set updated and making sure I'm not buying figures I don't need to buy, especially ones that are like 15 freaking bucks. But other than that small mishap, we got everything placed pretty well. I do want to say, like, look at how nice and full looking this top section is. I remember when we first got started with this series, this section up top was so empty. There were so many missing spaces, and now it honestly is starting to look more full than down here, which was the goal, right? Because these are all the sets that I've been buying recently. These are the ones I've had to come back to and just buy the individual figures from Bricklink, but it's honestly incredible to see the amount of progress we've made, because it's just looking so much more full than it was before, and that makes me happy. That lets me know that this journey is progressing in some way. So we got the older figures placed up here. We had a few clustered in here. There's the old Ben, the light bluish gray haired one next to just the standard light gray hair. We had over here the battle droid that got placed. The Skiff Han Solo is there next to the blue pants Han Solo. Those are some bright blue pants, oh my god. Further down, we had this goofy looking pilot droid right here. He's chilling next to Count Dooku. Obviously both of those from that Solar Sailor set. Celebration Vader is actually down here all by himself, which is kind of sad, but what I realized is right here is where that New York I Heart Yoda goes. Another expensive $150+ figure. I'm gonna have to get it at some point. Oh god, what have I gotten myself into? But overall, we had a pretty successful update today. Got some pretty awesome figures placed on the wall. I'm loving it. Oh, of course I gotta point out Watteau. Got the Watteau from Watteau's Junkyard. Also, great looking figure. Filling in some holes there. So that's just what I want to keep trying to do. Here's a pulled back view. You can see this thing is just really coming together. A lot of these large gaps are still sets that I just need to open up and place the figures here. Like one of these gaps is a just huge gap from the Ewok Village, the UCS Sandcrawler. Both sets I have sealed. So some of those, like the bottom half, I'm not super worried about because I know those are figures that I have in sets or I've just used in mocks and haven't put back. But the fact that this top half is just looking so nice now really does make me happy. But that's really all I got for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed checking out the journey this far. We're going to keep trying to move this along. I think during this quarantine, it gives me a perfect opportunity to just sit back and really go ham on trying to make a bunch of progress on this wall, because I'm at the point now where I think, I'm under like 150 figures that I need. I might be even less than that. So we're so close. Still gonna have to eventually bite the bullet and get those super expensive ones. But if I can just get every like sub $100 figure on this wall, that'll be some significant progress. So tune in next week to see what shows up at my doorstep. Take care, guys. I'll see you again very soon.